Hello, my dear students. How are you? We are back with our NCERT biology series in which we are covering NCERTs, okay, the science NCERTs from class 6 to 10th. And in that, the prominent chapters of biology is something which we are covering. So, why we are covering this? In UPSC, this section of NCERT becomes very important. Yes, NCERT, you will get direct questions from NCERT. NCRTs act as a Bible for your UPSC preparations, for your state PCS preparations, for your Telangana state PCS preparation, for Andhra Pradesh state PCS, SSC CGL, RBI grade B, all these examination, you will be having the importance of so-called NCRTs. Yes, and we are specifically selecting the biology NCRT chapters with you so that you can get a clear picture of all the chapters which are related to biology here. So you don't have to go to separate book, you don't have to read all the books related to the sciences from 6 to 10, but you can revise this series of NCERT biology, and then in one day you will be revising all the bits and pieces topics which is covered in the NCERT biology for you students. Correct? For that, let's see, are we live or not? Okay, we are live. So let's continue that. We will be seeing like what is living organism, what is habitat, what is habitat in all through. What is this habitat? And what is the characteristics of these habitats? Different organisms live in their own habitat, different habitat. If we talk about the eagle, if we talk about the deer, if we talk about the fishes in the pond, if we talk about the microorganisms living in the soil, yes, and the birds who are flying in the sky, all these organisms are having different ecosystem, are having different habitats, but each and every habitats consist of both biotic and abiotic components. That is why it is important, right? So let's get started. So today in our content, what are we going to study? We are going to study about the habitat. What is a habitat? And broad classification of habitats also we will be seeing here. Then some terrestrial habitats and adaptation. So we will be knowing about the plants and animals in the terrestrial sector and how they are catering to the adaptation in that region. Adaptation happening in that particular region we will be seeing. Okay, and we will also be seeing the aquatic plants and animals. Aquatic means which is under the water, right? Which is under the water surface. They are your aquatic water. That is your aquatic, that is your marine ecosystem. So what kind of plants and what kind of animals are there under the water? Can you imagine a life? Can you stay under the water and can you thrive under the water? No, right? We as human beings, we don't have gills. We don't have streamlined body. So we cannot survive for days long under the water. And our body will also we started affecting by it because we are not habituated for it, and we need air, we need oxygen which we take from the atmosphere and not from the water, right? But fishes, tortoises, these animals, these marine animals, they have these adaptative skills by which they are residing underwater. Then there are certain animals and plant species which are adapted to desert climate. Are you able to stay in desert? You need water, right? But these plants and animals, they are adapting themselves as if they don't need that much of water as you and me require. Correct? Then characteristics of different organisms is something again we are going to do. So this is the whole thing which we are going to discuss today. So what is a habitat? Habitat is a place where organism lives is called habitat. Wherever an organism live, okay, be it your birds, be it your elephant, zebra, okay, you can see here this is the kingdom of animals, okay, and you can see what is the place at which they are staying, okay. Though when it comes to animals, where are they staying? They are staying in wildlife, they are staying in the nature, they are staying near the proximity where you will have more and more trees, plants, shrubs, herbs, okay, some certain kind of water bodies so that they can quench their thirst. So this is the place where they actually live, the forest area. the area which is away from the urbanization of human beings. And we several times we see there is a conflict between human beings and animals. Yes, there is a conflict between, in news also we see many a times that tigers are encroaching, then elephants are coming, vultures are coming, that is for sure, because they have to feed on the degraded materials, they have to feed on degraded materials. But apart from that, we have seen these wildlife animals like elephant, tigers coming in the vicinity of human beings, okay, in the urban areas, which is again a worrisome situation, and that causes human and animal conflict, right? So the habitat of organism is where they stay, where they live. Habitat provides them. Obviously, the place where you live, it will provide you food, will provide you air, water, shelter, and other needs of an organisms. All these are provided by the habitat. So the habitat in which the animals live, they get the food out of it. Yes, the different kind of foods with the different kind of animals eat, birds eat. Okay, some are vegetarian, some are non-vegetarian, some are omnivorous. We have already discussed in our previous chapters of NCERT biology, right? What is the eating habits of the different organisms? So they will get their food, they will get shelter, the place at which they will live, then they will get air, then they will get water, then they will get air to breathe. All these things they are going to get. Correct? Now, several kinds of plants and animals may share the same habitat. That is so obvious. Why several kind of plants and animals will share the same habitat? Because if we talk about animals, they are sharing their habitat, and if we talk about humans, you and me, we are sharing the habitat. Suppose I am staying here nearby only. There are thousands of buildings in which rest of the people are living, and in this building as well, in my floor, we have a lot of rooms. There are people living, so we are sharing the habitat. This is a habitat in which we humans are living, and we are getting our food, we are getting our water, we are getting air, we are getting oxygen to breathe. Shelter. This is the shelter where I'm staying. So this is all the factor, right? Let me see, is there any error? There is no error. We are live and we are thriving. So next, what I have to tell you is habitat is something where an organism lives, and it provides you food, shelter, and rest of the basic necessities. And the habitats are different for different organism. For you and me, the habitat is different. For humans, the habitat is almost similar. For wildlife, the habitat is again different. For marine ecosystem, the habitat is different because they live under the water. The habitat for the desert people, the desert living organisms are different. Okay, similarly, hilly areas of northeast, hilly areas of Himachal Pradesh, there you will see different kind of habitat is having. So we will be discussing that. Classification of habitat, then we have aquatic and then we have terrestrial. We have terrestrial habitat and we have aquatic, and here you can see such a pretty image of animals depicting this is your aquatic, this is your terrestrial. And in terrestrial you will have birds, you will have trees, lions, hippo, tigers, you will have crocodiles. And then in the marine you will have crocodile actually, but crocodiles will be coming to terrestrial region as well. They can survive both in land and in water. Okay, so you will be having whales, you will be having jellyfish, fish, all these things. And then plants also, there will be a lot of marine plantation also happening. So based on the classification of habitat, we have two kind of habitats. And what is your one is your terrestrial habitat, which is on the land, and which is another is your aquatic habitat, which is below the land, which is in the water surface. Okay. Terrestrial is your forest, grassland, desert, coastal, and mountain region. Okay, terrestrial, if we're talking about, it's not only land, it's the mountain region, it is the desert area, it is the region of grasslands. Grasslands ecosystem, you might have heard, you might have studied in your geography, right? Here, the same grassland ecosystem we are talking about. The grassland ecosystem, it comprises of 90-80% of grasses, then there will be trees also, fragmented trees also you will be seeing, and there are certain kind of animals and plant species which are actually present. In plants, if we talk about, we have grasses, but if we talk about animals, we are going to study further, right? So what are we seeing here? Now we will be going to aquatic, related to water, lakes, rivers and oceans. Yes, aquatic ecosystem can be your aquarium which you are keeping inside in your house. Yes, that is also a habitat of fishes, habitat of marine algae which is there inside that aquarium. Okay, so habitat of aquatic ecosystem comprises of lakes, ponds, oceans, rivers. All these comprises of aquatic habitat. Now, if we talk about the components of the habitat, what are the components of habitat? There are different kind of components. See, there are living components. This is your earth, and there is living component, but there is also non-living component. Non-living components like your rocks, soil, air, water, light, and temperature, and many more. There are many more non-living components which are also there in the environment and which is actually helping us out to thrive life in the environment. How? Because see, when we talk about a rock, okay, when we talk about a rock, have you heard about rock cycle? Have you all heard about rock cycle? So what is happening? The rocks are getting broken. They get into pebbles. They become small pebbles. And from small pebbles, they again break. And then they become what? They become sand. And from sand, they start little bit becoming soil with the help of other biotic elements. So this is the cycle of a rock in which it gets disintegrated. It gets degraded, disintegrated, and then it will be forming the soil on the earth. And the soil, when it comes to other biotic elements, be it your water, be it your other biotic elements like degraded leaves and then earthworm and rest of the things, then it will be producing plants. Yes, it is giving life to the plants. So this is the whole cycle which is happening. Biotic elements are, so the components of habitat is divided into two parts. One is your biotic and other is your abiotic. In the biotic sector, you will be seeing plants, animals, microorganisms. All these things are there in your biotic plants. Then in your abiotic sector, sector, you have your rocks, soil, air, water, light, and temperature. Okay, all these things you are having here. Rock, soil, air, water, light, and temperature, everything you are having here in abiotic sector. And this abiotic sector and biotic sector together, they are forming the life on the earth. Only the biotic sector won't be able to do that. We need abiotic sector also, because we need air to breathe, we need oxygen to breathe, we need water to drink, right? We need water to drink. So these are the things which we actually need, and thus the help of both biotic and abiotic is going hand in hand. The presence of specific features and habitats which enables an organism to live in a particular habitat is called adaptation. What is adaptation? See, you have certain characteristics in which you are living. Suppose you are having a characteristics in which you can drink 2 liters of water, and again you can save that 2 liters of water, and when there is no water you can reuse that water. This is how camel works. Okay, they are storing water in their chambers. Whenever they're getting water, they're storing it into their chambers, and when there is a lot of desert area, when there is lot of temperature where you don't get water in desert area, they will utilize that for their hydration in their body. Isn't it amazing? But this is what which is happening, and this is called adaptation to a particular environment. And if we talk about human beings are also adapting. Suppose there is a intellect from India. He is working as an engineer in foreign country. So India has a certain kind of temperature. India has a certain kind of weather. India has certain kind of food which we get here. We get a lot of fruits, vegetables. We are actually very rich in our biodiversity. So we get a lot of things here in India. Okay. But same person, if it go to the Western countries, especially in the areas which is very cold. So in that place. It is very difficult for an Indian to survive, but that Indian survives and thrives also and works there very nicely. How is that possible? That is possible with the help of adaptation. Adapting the environment, it is not done only by the plants and animals, but the human species are also adapting. Human species are also adapting to the nature. Those organisms which cannot adapt to the change, they will die. Yes, who cannot adapt to the change, they will die. Because if you're not adapting to the nature is going to overcome you. Suppose you're going to a colder country and you're not able to take the cold, then eventually your health will be degraded, and then mishap can happen and you can also lose your life if your body is not able to adapt. If your body is able to adapt, you can easily survive there and easily thrive there, which most of the Indians are doing. Indians now are everywhere, be it your Saudi, be it your Western countries, be it your Asian countries, everywhere, Russia, everywhere Indians are there, and they are able to adapt very nicely in all the countries. So survival of the fittest is the something which is you can quote in your answers, in your mains answers. Why you can quote? Because if a particular species is able to survive and thrive, then only they can continue the reproduction, they can continue their regime, they can continue their cycle of life. Okay, we have seen a lot of organisms, we have seen a lot of birds and animals getting extinct. Why they are getting extinct? Because they are not able to adapt with the nature. One of those birds, one of the organisms is dodo. Dodo is a bird which was found previously, but now they are not found. Survival is of the fittest is something theory which works every now and then. Then comes your desert area. In desert area, you will be seeing specific kind of adaptation. Specific kind of adaptation will be happening. What adaptation is happening in desert area? You will be seeing that the camels are there, your cactus is there, your snakes, lizards, and there is cactus, different kind of varieties of cactus. You have such kind of animals also. I don't remember. The Timon and Pumbaa series, we have seen such animals, right? So we have such kind of desert animals. And if we talk about organisms need adaptation to cope with the issues such as heat and water scarcity. Water scarcity is which is something everybody knows when it comes to desert area, right? But there are organisms who are coping with it, right? There are organisms which are coping with the desert climate happening in that place. So they have certain kind of skills by which they are able to do that. How they are able to do that? See, if we talk about camels, then they have long body, okay, long legs keep the body away from hot sand. See, camels have long legs, right? And these long legs keep their body away from the hot sand, and when they're away from the hot sand, they are able to keep themselves cold. Excrete a small amount of urine and dung is dry, and they do not sweat. Camels do not sweat. So when they do not sweat, again they are preserving the water inside their body. The excreta is dry. The urine is also very small amount of urine they are giving as excreta. So their body is adapting as if they don't have to throw out water as we are doing in our places currently, where we are having abundance of water. We can drink 4 liters of water, we can waste water, but in desert, can you see the same scenario? No. There the organisms are adapted in such a way that they have to conserve water within their body as well. And camel is one of the best example. Then we have rats and snakes. Stay in deep burrows in the sand. Come out only during the nights when it is colder. So these animals like your lizards and snakes and rats, these burrow animals. This animals also lives in a burrow. So these burrow animals, what they will be doing is there is sand, okay? They will be making small burrows in the sand, and they will be dumping themselves. They will be keeping themselves inside the burrow. And when there is night, they will be coming out, because in night in the deserts are actually cold. They are cold. They are just reverse of the daytime. Suddenly the temperature drops at the night, and you will feel that there is cold temperature in the night in Rajasthan. Okay. So this is the condition by which they are able to stay. These are the adaptive process. And if we talk about the plants in desert areas, you have seen a lot of movies in might have seen the desert area in which you will be seeing rocks, you will be seeing sand, and these kind of cactuses are there every now and then. These cactuses are there. They try to have spines inside on their body. Okay, they will be having spines so that animals are not able to eat them very easily. So how they are adapting? Leaves are either absent, so they don't have leaves. These are their stems, or they are in the form of spines. So leaves are in the form of spines where in cactus. Your cactus is actually having the leaves in the forms of spine. They don't have leaves, they have spines here. Photosynthesis is usually carried out by the stem. This is the stem and they are carrying the photosynthesis. You can see the color is also green. Okay, example cactus plant. The stem is also covered with thick waxy layer, retain water in the tissue. So they have thick waxy layer. Again, you have to remember this fact because many a times you will be getting the characteristics of plantation you find in the desert area and you will be giving many options. One of the options will be will be having thick waxy layer. Yes, they are having thick waxy layer, and with the help of thick waxy layer they are able to retain water in their tissues. Okay, succulents have parts that are thickened, fleshy, and ignored to store water. Succulents are again, they are having succulent kind of, they have succulent plants that have thick, fleshy, and see succulents, how they look. Succulents look something like that. Okay, they have thick leaves. Okay, they have button kind of leaves and they have thick leaves. Okay, thick leaves on the body and they store water. Even if you don't give them water for a longer period, they will be storing water in their leaves. They will be storing water in their body. So this is the scenario happening in the case of succulents. So succulents we have cactuses growing in the desert area. And their roots will also go deep for absorbing water. See, on the surfaces, they are not getting water. When they are not getting water on the surfaces, the roots of these plants will be going deep down in the search of water. Roots will be going deep down in the soil in search of what? Water. Mountainous region. Let's talk about the mountainous region. What kind of plants and animals do we get there? So mountainous region organisms also need adapt to very cold and windy environment including snowfall. Snowfall is not something which you and me can survive because we are not adapted to that situation. But what about the trees? The trees there are having this conical shaped structure. Okay, the conical shape structure is there in these leaves. So what is happening? Whatever snow is falling on them, it will slide and it will go. Okay, it will slide and it will try to get rid of these needle-like leaves to slide off the rainwater and snow eases. The needle-like leaves also, they have leaves are like needle. So the water and the snow will not stay for longer period here. Okay, water and snow will not be staying for longer on these leaves. Animals have thick furs, thick skins like yak, snow leopard. Mountain goats have strong hooves for running on the rocky slopes. So if we talk about these animals, the sheeps in the cold region, they have these strong hooves, okay, because they have to walk on the snow. If they have to walk on the snow, their legs need to be very strong and need to be a hoop like so that they don't get stuck on the snow. Okay, they don't get stuck on the snow. They take their legs again out of it and they start walking in the snowy region. So this is your sheep present in that region. And if we talk about the plantation are such that they are not that much fragile to cold and they bloom even in the cold region. And especially the conical shaped plants, if we're talking about, to get rid of the snow and water from their body, as we have seen here. Okay, we have these kind of cone shape of plants present there. And animals have thick layer of covering on their body. Thick layer. What is this thick layer helping it? Can you answer me? What is this thick layer of surface which is happening on the, which is growing on the body of these animals which are staying in the cold region? Why they have such thick furry structure? They have such structure so that they can protect themselves from snow and cold. Okay, this is their adaptive mechanism which they are doing. Going forward, let's talk about the grassland ecosystem. Grassland ecosystem, you will see a lot of grasses is there, but sometimes you will be also seeing trees. Okay, there will be certain trees also present in the grassland structure. And the, if we talk about the organisms, then we have lions, we have deer. So lion claws to catch prey, and the light brown color to hide in the grass, dry grassland. They are, see, when the grasses are very tall, no, these animals will be hiding in these grasses. You might have seen in the National Geography channel that you will be seeing how these animals are preying on their prey. That is your deer, that is your rabbit, all these animals, sometimes even elephant, rhinoceros. They are preying on that. So these are able to, these animals are lion, tigers, they are able to save themselves, they're able to hide themselves in these grasslands which are grown tall, and the color of the body sometimes matches with the color of these grasses, so you're not able to recognize them with the naked eyes. Okay, and they eyes in the front to detect prey. Their eyes are in the front, you can see their eyes are in the front, right? So the eyes are in the front so that they can detect prey nicely. Then you have deers, strong teeth for chewing hard plant stems. Okay, deers are your vegetarian animals. We need and we know that. So they have these teeth are very strong so that they can chew hard plants and plants. They are not quick. They are not cooking their plants, right? As we are doing, we are cooking our green vegetables. It's very difficult to digest the green vegetables, but when we are cooking it, it assimilates into our body very easily with the help of carbs and fats and rest of the spices, whatever we are adding. But when it comes to plants, they are not able to do that. When it comes to deer, they are not able to do that. So what they are doing, they are having strong teeth to chew. So long ears, they have to hear the movement of the predators. Like lion, they have ears. See, the ears of the tiger, lion, they are normal. But if we talk about the ears of a deer, you can see it is like this, right? This is the ear. Okay, ear of a deer. It is long enough. Eyes are on the side to look in all direction for dangers. So their eyes are in the side to look in all direction. Now we will be talking about the aquatic, some of the aquatic habitat and its adaptation. What is the prime thing by which life is getting adapted in the under the water surface? Under the water surface, how life is getting adapted, students. So sea animals have streamlined bodies. This is called streamlined bodies. Okay, this is your streamlined bodies. See, this is your streamlined bodies. Okay, they have streamlined bodies to flow easily. Animals like squid and octopus, which do not stay deeper into the ocean. So squids and octopus do not have streamlined body. We have seen squid and octopus. How an octopus look? Octopus is something like this with legs, right? Something like this with a lot of legs. This is the octopus, and then they don't have squid like, they don't have stream like bodies, so they live in the deeper water. Animals have gills to use oxygen dissolved in the respiration. So these fishes have gills. These are your gills, see, these are your gills. Here you can find the gills in a fish. So that gills is used to get oxygen inside the water which is dissolved. So the oxygen which is dissolved inside the water is being used by these fishes to get oxygen with the help of gills. See, these are the gills. You and me, we don't have gills. We have no nose, nostrils. Okay, they have these gills to take out oxygen. Dolphins and whales do not have gills. So what they do? How they take oxygen in the water? They come to the surface to breathe air. Yes, dolphins, see, the dolphin is coming on the water surface, and these whales will be having something, a hole over here, and they will be coming in the water surface. See, they will be coming in the water surface, and then they will be breathing. They will coming on the water surface, and then they will be breathing. So here you can see how there are different kind of organisms All organism doesn't have streamlined body. All organism doesn't have gills to take oxygen. So they come on the surface of the water and then they take oxygen. Then they take air to breathe. Okay, and air to breathe. The dolphin has to come on the surface. The whales also come in the surface and take the oxygen. So this is the adaptative measures they are having. So before going forward, let's talk about the Telangana State PCS Group 1 examination with which we are preparing you. This is a year-long preparation. So please join Shikara IS where you will be getting live plus recorded sessions, students, at a very minimum cost. And also for Telangana State PCS Group 2 examination, we are preparing you. Please call us in this given number below. Now some of the aquatic adaptations. Okay, we have also already seen the marine animals how they are adapting. Now we will be seeing in ponds and lakes how the plants are adapting. So root fixed in the soil below the water to hold the plants. So their roots are very long. Okay, if we talk about these plants, their roots are very long and they are fixing in the water soil. Stems are long and hollow. These stems are long and hollow means khali andar se. They are empty from inside. They are tube-like. They are empty from inside. Leaves and flowers float on the surface of the water. You can see the leaf is flowing, the flowers is flowing. Yes, the leaf is flowing, the flower is flowing. They are having long roots. The stem which you are having, they are long stem and they are hollow stem. They are hollow. They don't have anything inside. Okay. Then submerged plants have narrow and thin ribbons like leaves, and frogs have webbed feet which help them swim in the water. The webbed feet structure also helps them swim in the water. Now next topic what we are talking about is the kind of things, common characteristics of living beings which we are knowing. We have food. Okay, so food gives organism the energy, growth. There are different stages of growth, newborn, human baby to adult. Okay, then breathing, every organism breathes differently. If we talk about the plant, okay, then they have these photosynthesis process and they have these pores on their leaves by which they actually breathe. See, plant leaves takes air through their tiny pores. Plant leaves, this is the plant's leaf. You can see here there are, you cannot see the pores, but there are pores. Okay, students, there are pores which are helping the plants to get oxygen from the air. Okay, this is how they breathe. And earthworm breathes through their skin. Okay, earthworm, we talk about the earthworm, they breathe through the skin. Fish use gills for breathing and respond to environment. See, we are knowing something called stimulus. Do you know about touch me not plant? The touch me not plant, if you touch the plant, it will squeeze its leaves. And when it will squeeze its leaves, it will be again after some time opening it. So this is the response of the environment which is called stimulus. What is stimulus? Change in our surrounding that makes us respond called stimulus. Hiding of cockroaches in the light. Whenever there is a light, cockroaches will be hiding. Flowers of plants either bloom at night or close after sunset. And touch me not plant is another. So sun will be turning itself towards the sunlight. Whenever you will be seeing the sunlight is there, the sunflower will be turning its face towards it. And there will be some plants will be growing at night. So these are some flowers which will be blooming at night, because they have to bloom at night as the stimulus, when the sunlight goes and the moonlight comes. Okay, then they will have that temperature in them and then they will have that stimulus and then they will start blooming. That's all for now. Importance of NCERT biology we have already discussed, that it's very important for your state PCS, UPSC, RBI, SSC, CGL. For all the government exams, your NCERTs are your one-stop solution. And here at Shikara IS, students, we are preparing for your mains answer writing. We are preparing you for current affairs every day. We are preparing you for examinations like UPSC, state PCS. So do join Shikara IS. And this is Raini Simon, your educator. I am teaching you NCERT economy, NCERT biology, current affairs. So please be in touch and join our Telegram channel as well. Okay, where you can get the notes of whatever we are teaching here. That's all for now. Stay tuned with us, students. Please stay tuned with us.